And again, I was like, oh my God, I did
Already?
not wear a tampon until I was seriously like in
College.
college, maybe
Yeah.
even like after college. I don't even remember. I was terrified because I was like taught, like, yo, it's so
Nothing.
bad for you, and you're gonna get really sick if you keep it on too
पोट्टा
long.
फेटे जब
Or, yeah,
কি ফেটে যাবে?
पोट्टा फेटे जब
কি?
Barda, like you're gonna lose your virginity. I've never heard that term, but
I've never heard that term. But I've heard that in like Western context, American cultural context.
I was more told that it was
Wow.
like toxic and like, if it's inside too long. So I was like, dude, you taught like your daughter's wearing a tampon. She's, I don't know, 13, I think. But like I didn't wear one until I was like 20 and they all made fun of me for saying that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I wore tampons maybe 2 or 3 times my whole life, like back when I used to go clubbing.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just so uncomfortable and
Uncomfortable and not
yeah.
I don't trust it.
Oh,
Mm.
that's all I ever once I discovered tampons, I didn't wear anything else.
Really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, dude. I
nope.
was
I'm
like,
a
where?
diaper pad girl.
I was like, where has this been
Oh,
my whole
extra
life?
long overnights.
Oh no. Dude, that
No,
shit
no,
is
not those.
bulgy. You can't wear nice clothes with that shit on.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Mommy diapers. That's what
Hmm.
my that's what
no, well,
my
I
then they
daughter
have
mean,
calls them.
period panties, which make
yeah,
life a
so
little easier
now
too.
With like
that's
the
the stuff I don't
PFAs.
trust.
Mm.
Like Thinks or something it's called, where it's just an underwear and it absorbs. Yeah, I don't trust that. That's no chance. I would never wear
Didn't they
that.
I
just
think it's
like
good
go through a
backup.
lawsuit because there were these PFAs like phthalates and stuff?
Oh, I have
Yeah,
no idea.
I don't know.
yeah, Things
Yeah, I've
undies.
I don't keep up with any of this because since I got an IUD, like I haven't had a period.
Oh,
It's so wonderful, guys.
Oh,
It
I
that's not
really
can't.
easy.
is.
I am as granola as I can be. I cycle with the moon.
Guys, can we talk about speaking of granola and periods? I was also this whole concept, this whole conversation came up this weekend about all of this, and I said it's so funny. We're talking about tampons, pads. I'm like, yo, where we all came from, like our mother's generation, they used to fucking use a cloth and they would just
Yes.
rewash that shit.
Yep. Or they
Mashik,
used to
mashik. That's what they used to
Oh
mashiko,
call it.
but
gosh.
hold on, hold on. In the 90s, when I was there, like first of all, it's all wrapped in newspaper. Like the bua gets it. It's like
Hmm.
nobody can see. But she brought back one where there's no adhesive and it had like a shuta. Do you know
Hmm.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea how to use it. I didn't know who to ask. I just kind of figured it out. But you wrap the string through the front of the pad and the back of the pad so that it stays up. Who is that for? People that don't wear underwear?
Well, if you think about it though, a lot of people in the grams, like not,
Don't.
They
I didn't say
don't,
gram, but
yeah.
like a lot of people, like poor people, don't wear underwear. Yeah, that's very common, dude.
Yep.
শাড়ির নিচে লুঙ্গির নিচে
Just
কোনো
pick it through.
underwear নাই ভাই.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's okay. Wow.
That's why they can very easily squat on the streets to
Wherever
just
Yeah.
they are.
shit.
And do what they gotta do.
Yeah, underwear is a privileged thing, man.
And
I can't.
Easy access.
yep.
Yeah, so I just thought it was very interesting to think about. Again, there was actually some documentary or something done where they did babies from all around the world and
Hmm.
how they grow up or are raised and how different it is based on the country you're in and stuff. And even things like period, which is one, I love that we're talking about it like it's totally normal. We were talking about this in front of like our boys this weekend,
Yeah.
never being like, shh,
Yeah.
and but even that concept is so different depending on where you lived, where how you were raised.
Yeah.
um I remember when we during roja, if you had your period, you can't fast, and it was such a like a hush hush thing. A lot of households, the girls would still wake up during sehri to so that people thought they were fasting and
Oh,
just
wow.
kind of like so that no one ever
It's
knows
covered
that
up.
you're you're on your period. Or if you did, or like not watch the barban or whatever, like it was always very like hush hush, like like, oju,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just so interesting that we tabooed it so much.
Like oju habena if you are on your period.
So
Therefore, you are not
technically,
clean.
when you're on your period, you're not clean, and so you can't do oju and stuff, and you can't pray, and it's very clearly, allowed that when you're on your period, you don't do those things, and it's
Yeah.
really because one, you can be very sick when you're on your period too, like you can be in pain and whatever, and it's really meant to be like you need to take care of
A
yourself and your
break.
body. Um, and then actually once your cycle is over, you really cleanse yourself before you go back into, praying, fasting, all that stuff. And
Well, you're like
many
supposed to shave
religions,
you're supposed to shave
you're
yourself,
supposed to,
right?
yeah, cleanse, like clean, yep, shaving and all that stuff.
Really? That's like a
Yeah.
religious practice?
Um, and then other religions, like in Judaism, like if you're Orthodox Jew, when you're married and you're on your period, you actually are not allowed to sleep next to your spouse. So you have to separate during your entire cycle. And then and
Wow.
if you're really hardcore, there are places, they're not bathhouses, but something to that concept where you go and you literally cleanse yourself
They do that before
Wow.
or
they get
get
married.
cleansed.
Did
Yeah.
you watch that Netflix? It was like a short time it was on Netflix. I think it was called Unorthodoxed or
Oh, yeah.
Orthodoxed. Oh,
Mhm. So
shook.
good. Where she, like, escapes
Yeah,
the
but before she
Orthodox
gets
world.
married, they go to that bathhouse,
Yeah.
Gotta
and
check
then
it
she
out.
doesn't sleep next to
Mhm.
him.
But it is interesting how, like, somehow, again, the whole patriarchy thing, right? Like,
Mhm.
even having your period, which is literally how you give birth. I mean, if you think about the whole concept of
Yes.
having a cycle is so that you can procreate and all of that, is shunned, tabooed, and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
But it's cool, like that movie, and I think we talked about this before. Something red, being red, big red,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
that
Turning red.
turning red, which very openly talked about it.
Didn't
Um,
pick up on that still.
yeah, and I think a lot of kids were like, "What?" But they do talk about it, and so it's cool that we're starting to be a little bit more open about it. But
Totally.
it's crazy. But yeah, even like the or mashik with the mashik.
Heh. Shorir kharap.
Shorir kharap. Yes. Why
That's
the
what it
fuck
was.
do we say that?
Yeah. Like
Shorir
you're
kharap.
sick.
Yep.
But yeah, some people do get really sick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, you can have
Yeah.
endometriosis, which is a very serious disease that can
Extremely
really give
painful.
you a lot of pain. Um, but yeah, it's also unbelievable and amazing that women go through things like this and
Keep
lead
going.
normal lives, go to the jobs, all this stuff. Like, actually talking about the tampons, this girl that I was talking about, she's in gymnastics. And
Oh, okay.
so very common for them to
Swimmers.
start on tampons, swimming and all these things. But, it
That's
doesn't
true.
stop us, right? Like we just keep going and wearing our damn white pants. Thank you very much. Um, that just reminded me there was one time, well, in school in Taka, this is like one of my core memories. I remember you could either wear a skirt and like a button-down shirt, or you could wear a white shalwar kameez with like a blue orna
Pinafore?
dupatta. Was
Oh.
past the pinafore because we're older now, right?
Okay.
So I was like probably class 9, as we used to say. And there were many times where like a girl would have her period and you would just see like the red stain on the back of like the white
Oh,
gummies. And I still remember like whoever had like a cardigan or whatever, like cover that thing around the waist.
That happened to me the first day of
Yeah.
school, 6th grade.
oh my
Oh my
I was so
god.
excited because I thought I had like the most preppy outfit with your khaki shorts and a crisp white shirt and your little, like, what are those loafers used to be called? That we used to wear
Yes.
anyway. And I was, I think, in
creepers.
orchestra class or something. And we had to stand up for something. And as soon as I stood up, it was like whoosh. And it got all over my khaki pants. And I was like, I think I sat on ketchup or something. Like I didn't know what to do until I
Oh.
had to get to the principal's office. And then I think my sister or somebody brought pads and a change of clothes or something. It was the most mortifying. Talk about core memory. Awful.
Jeez.
Yeah, those are
Awful.
like, why didn't we all have extra clothing in school? Or
At school.
I mean, actually, you should
Send her
make
with
sure
that.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
that, you know, if you have a
Good point.
daughter, please send them of that age. Send them with extra clothes.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that happened to me a few months ago.
Well, and that's what's
Awful.
crazy, right? So we're
It
talking
doesn't
about, oh,
stop.
this happened 5th grade, 6th grade, and then you're like, actually, it happened to me, and I'm like 35.
Yes.
Like, what?